I think maybe we were born this way.
Here and now, I send this message to the devils of Paradis!
I'll just keep moving forward. Till I killed my enemies.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's React. I'm Kenny and this is Montana.
And today we're going to be reacting to Season 4, Episode 5 of Attack on Titan, Declaration of War. Is there anything to say after that title?
All I'm going to say is it's time. Make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe down below if you're excited for this episode. Also check out the Patreon to see the extended cut of several episodes beyond this. They're already posted. Comment down below which anime you want us to watch next. I think that's about it. Are we excited for Season 4, Episode 5 of Attack on Titan, Declaration of War?
Cannot wait.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.
Dunderheads. This video was brought to you by the incredible members of the Let's React Patreon. If you want access to a ton of exclusive perks, check out the link in the description below. Have a good day, Twinkle Toes!
And of course they're not picking up where we left off, because that would be too easy.
I keep having this dream where I see that guy from the mountains who hung himself. He must have been planning to do it. So why did he tell us his story first?
Couldn't say. Doubt we'll ever know.
Adolescent Reiner Bear told
probably
Nanny.
hoping that we'd forgive him. But after the way we abandoned Marcel, we were in no position to.
I don't know if it was forgiveness he was after. I couldn't really tell you why, but I think he just wanted to be judged. Evening. It's been 4 years, Reiner.
He's just like,
What in the
What's wrong?
world?
Mr. Kruger said you were old friends and that he wanted to surprise you. That's true, right? You two were friends?
Yeah.
Yep.
We have a whole lot to catch up on. I don't even know where to start.
Crap. Oh my god, he's terrible.
Oh, this is scary.
Eren.
Here we go.
All right.
A climactic moment like no other. Season 4, Episode 5 of Attack on Titan, Declaration of War.
Lord Tyber, it's almost
Is this
time.
accurate, Theater Major?
Thank
Yep.
you.
The sounds of the orchestra warming up for sure.
Well,
Theater
Lady
Major,
Azuma
derogatory.
come to give me a pep talk.
I'm
So this
sorry
is
to
the
interrupt your preparations.
person that
I just
helped
wanted
out.
to see your
Yeah.
face.
Udo.
It must be a
Nice
haunting
one.
sight. I seem to have a bad case of stage fright.
Fear not. You look courageous and dignified. You are a truly brave man. My family knows that well. I'll wish you luck and take my leave.
I'm glad you came by. Thanks, Kiyomi.
Sit down, Reiner.
The tension just
Found us
keeps
good
coming back.
seats.
Why are we keeping
You can
Falco in
hear
the room
everything
for
that
this?
happens on stage.
Did you hear that?
We're right beneath an apartment building. It's behind the stage, but still, it's full of excited families, waiting at their windows for the curtains to rise. They're all directly above us.
So neither can transform.
Mr. Kruger,
Are you sure about
did you
that?
cut your hand?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa,
It's
whoa,
just
whoa,
a
whoa, whoa, whoa.
scratch. Reiner, sit.
He must be terrified.
Wait, how is he not going to
I think I should
transform
head
if he
back
cut
to
his
the others
hand?
now.
No, Falco.
He can choose when.
You should stay here and listen to us.
Good lord.
Just do as he says, all right?
Oh god.
Okay.
Now then, let's get out of here.
Hello. It's been quite a while, Mr. Leonhardt.
Evening, Mrs. Brown. I don't believe I've seen you since your son came home.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I hear Mr. Hoover died in his sleep, I believe.
He did. He always
Bear
used
told
to speak of
father.
how proud he was of his son's courage. How he gave his all for Marley. I'm sure that Annie was just as
She's
brave.
not dead. My daughter is alive. One day she'll come back. She promised me she would.
Well,
To think,
he's not
we're
wrong.
about to
Yeah.
declare war on what's left of Eldia from the Eldian internment zone.
Wow.
You hear that?
Yeah, they're declaring war.
Along with almost every
On-
other
In a
important
play?
Marleyan officer. The crowd's also full of nobles and ambassadors.
Not to mention journalists from every newspaper in the world that's worth the ink.
So everybody's
Feels
there.
like we're the center of the world, doesn't it?
The Tybers did this? Can't believe they're this
So are you
powerful.
having fun yet?
Even though they're just as Eldian as we are.
Literally. How is no one thinking that?
Right?
Yes, it's starting.
Or like
Falco
pointing
and
it
Mr.
out?
Brown haven't come back yet.
Commander Magat sent me.
Wonder where they could be.
He needs his Eldian warriors.
He's just like,
Why, Eren? Why come here? What do you plan to do? The exact same thing you did. No. As for why, that's the same too. I don't have a choice. That's why.
he's feeding him his words.
Sounds like the show's begun. We should listen.
Let's pull back the veil of time. Roughly a century ago, the Eldian Empire ruled the world through the might of its titans. Humanity as we know it could go extinct 3 times over, and the body count still wouldn't match the number of lives that titans have stolen. Such is the legacy of the founder, Ymir.
That's your bloodline.
Yep.
So much has been lost. Countless people and cultures wiped out. Histories crushed underfoot with their pride. Eldia's history is all we have left, and it only tells of killing. You see, once the Eldians ran out of foes to conquer, they began to fight amongst themselves, vying for power. Thus began the Great Titan War, which saw 8 of the 9 Titans locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed. But there was one brilliant Marleyan who saw in this chaos a path to victory. He was the heroic paragon we all know as Helos. Thanks to his cunning manipulations, Eldian infighting grew far worse, and the Empire grew weak. Then Helos joined hands with the Tyber family, and they forced the supposedly unbeatable King Fritz to retreat to a far-flung island.
So that's how Paradis.
That said, he fled with his powers intact, and his reign continued. With him, he took tens of millions of Titans, ready to trample the world at his command. It's believed that our world continues to exist unbroken for one reason alone: chance. Our scholars can field no better explanation. In order to fight this existential threat, my motherland Marley sent a team of 4 Titan warriors to take the Founder. But they were soundly beaten, and only the armored Titan returned.
Oh.
It's clear now, the ancient engine of cruelty called the Eldian Empire is alive and well today.
Honestly, it makes
Are they gonna
sense.
send the Warhammer to
I
Paradis?
get why you plunged my home into hell.
We'll have to see.
You were on a mission to save the world, right? So you had to.
My orders are to send you to the gate, Jaeger.
All right.
This way, you two.
I feel like I've seen you before, but I can't quite place you. Where are you stationed?
My unit's out west near Lakua. They sent
Who
me to help
is
bolster
that?
security. I'm not interested in chatting with an Eldian, even if you are a warrior.
Well, isn't that a shame? I'd started to take a real liking to your beard.
Oh, peek!
It's the Panzer unit. Thanks for all your hard work, guys.
Honestly, we should be thanking you. You're in a really good mood today.
What are you doing? Let's go.
What was that?
What? Those soldiers ride the cart Titan into battle. I need their support. So
They're the
I
ones
tried to
on
build
the
a
cart
bond with
Titan
them.
using the guns.
No offense, but it seems like you did more harm than good.
Hear anything?
Nothing yet, sir. Everything's quiet for now.
Why were they so freaked out?
Here to me. I don't care how insignificant it may seem.
Yes, sir.
In here. Go.
So, where's Commander McGath?
Is that Armin? Why does his voice sound completely different?
Well, we don't know.
What other tall blonde
I
kid
thought it
do we
was
know?
Armin.
Why does Vice Chief Brown seem so afraid?
But it's not his voice.
Mr. Kruger said they were old friends, but... Old friends? Just how many years has he known him? If it's more than 4, then they met on Paradis. Wait, that can't be right. Because if it is...
It can't be.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Paradis Island operation. To retake the founding Titan, a mission executed under the command of Theo McGath. 4 warriors were sent to complete the mission. Marcel, Reiner, Bertolt, and Annie. Their objective was to infiltrate Paradis Island, retake the founding Titan, and return to Marley. 5 years after it began, 2 warriors were captured by the enemy and 1 other was killed. Though a prisoner possessing the Jaw Titan was brought back to Marley, of the original members, only Reiner returned safely. So, shall we any thoughts before we keep going, or should we just keep
No, we
going?
just have to keep going.
Moving forward.
Yep.
Most of you consider the history I just recounted to be common knowledge, but I stand here now to inform you that it is somewhat divorced from truth.
Okay.
I know this because the Warhammer isn't the only inheritance the Tyber family bestows. We've passed down memories as well, truths, which I will now share with you. Some 100 years in the past, the Great Titan War was ended. Not by Helos, nor by my Tyber forebears. The savior who ended the fighting, the hero who saved the world, was King Fritz himself. He was plagued by guilt over the Eldian Empire's vicious past. He'd grown weary of watching families and countrymen torn apart by war, and he wept for Marley, a nation under constant pressure.
The pacifism.
When he inherited the founding Titan, he plotted his own downfall with the Tybers. Together, we created a Marleyan hero who would drive the king out. His name, Helos. After
So
that,
he was
King
in on
Fritz
it.
moved as many Eldians to Paradis as he could, erecting his great walls around them. He left a warning that if anyone threatened his peace, countless Titans would be unleashed in retaliation. However, he never intended to make good on this threat. King Fritz made a vow renouncing the war, and bound his successors to uphold it, just as he had. Thus, his ideology was passed down to each new king of the world.
Know this?
And the Titans with the power to crush the world remained dormant. Marley didn't stop Eldia, and chance hasn't kept the world from being crushed. It was the king of the walls, Karl Fritz, a man who yearned for peace. That's it. That's all he wanted. He said that if Marley grew strong someday, and came in force to shatter his peace and seize the founding Titan, he would accept it. He believed the sins his people committed were so horrific that they could never be atoned for. When the day of retribution finally comes, I will accept it.
Kenny
But
and
until
Uri.
then, let me enjoy this walled paradise, free from strife. I ask for nothing but a brief span of peace. Those were the final words the king left us with.
What does this mean? If what he's saying is true...
So Marley and the Tyber family didn't really save the world?
No.
Well, General,
Your thoughts? It's quite the reveal.
Yeah.
Willy wouldn't lie.
That means Paradis doesn't actually pose a threat, right?
Paradis not a threat.
It's true. To secure our own safety, my family joined hands with King Fritz. We became heroes to the world, while our fellow Eldians became devils. Put plainly, we Tybers are petty thieves, growing fat on honor we did not earn.
Okay.
I stand before you, willingly parting with my false glory. Because I have come to understand that the world we share is in grave danger.
Commander! The warriors are gone, and we haven't heard from any of the soldiers we sent to collect them.
Mobilize the reserves at once. Track them down.
Yes, sir!
Looks like it's begun.
Shit, that really hurt. What the hell is this place?
Looks like a pit meant to detain warriors like us. It's a classic. The space is too cramped to transform in. And with two of us down here...
Got it. We just crush each other. I'm still confused, though. What's that soldier's plan?
Couldn't tell you. They really were familiar, though. I know that much.
Please stay and watch. This is my atonement.
Here we go.
The Founder's might. King Fritz erected 3 walls, using a great host of colossal titans. Counted together, the walls surely contain tens of millions of colossal titans. They guard the king's peace as his shield and his spear.
Yep.
Or they did.
They're massive.
But now that peace is being threatened from within. An uprising has taken place on Paradis. The king has been deposed, the founding titan stolen. The thief is an enemy to every man, woman, and child outside of his island. An enemy of peace. His name is Eren Yeager.
So they're painting the king as the good guy, and Eren took it over.
After what you said, I respected you. But you were just using me.
Yeah, I was. I'm sorry. I did it because I needed your help.
The letters you had me send from outside the internment zone. Who were they to?
I can't say the letters made it to my family, but they reached my comrades.
Falco's gotta feel bad.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wait. You wrote your comrades?
If the Colossi of Paradis are ordered to walk, the rumbling will be felt across the earth, and death will follow.
Did you hear that?
Until now, only royalty has had the power to wield the founding titan, and King Fritz's vow has kept his descendants from using it. But this Eren Yeager has found a way to use the founder without having royal blood, which means he could begin the rumbling at any moment. Once the walls of Paradis begin to walk, there will be nothing we can do, except flee in vain from the sound of earth-shaking steps that will herald our doom. These monsters will crush every city, trample every tree and flower.
So scary.
They will literally flatten
God, there's so many of them.
They'll flatten the earth to tens of millions. I read a thing today that was that the walls are roughly like each wall is like the size of the United States. Like they're huge.
He's exactly right. I'm the bad guy Willy says I am. If nobody stops me, there's a chance that I'll destroy your whole world. But to my eyes, you looked like the bad guys too. That day, when you breached the wall, when Titans destroyed my
Way
home,
back then.
when I watched as my mom was eaten, I couldn't understand it. Why, Reiner? Tell me why my mom was eaten by a Titan.
It's because we broke the wall that was protecting her.
Why did you break the wall?
So we could use the chaos to sneak in and to find out if the king would react.
But what was your mission?
To save the world by taking the founder.
Well, that's that. If all that was to save the world, then you didn't have much choice.
I remember what you said. You promised we'd pay for what we did, and you promised pain.
I've got to do something. Anything. I swear to you, one way or another, the two of you will pay. And it's gonna hurt.
So are you here to make me pay?
Yeah, I did say that, didn't I?
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Let's forget about that.
And it's gonna hurt.
At first,
Yeah.
I considered every person on this side of the sea an enemy. But later, I crossed the sea and slept under my enemy's roof, ate the food they offered me. Reiner, I'm the same as you. Some of these people are awful, but some are good. Same where I'm from. Inside the walls, we're all just people. But you were taught that the people in the walls weren't like you, that we were demons. You
That
were
was
just
him
kids who
looking
got
over them.
brainwashed. Hatred was part of your training. As young as you were, How could you have fought that? You couldn't have. And well, it looks like you've already paid.
No! You're wrong, Eren! That day, when the Titan got Marcel, Annie and Bertolt wanted to end the mission right then. And they would have. But I convinced them to keep going. Not just to save my own skin, but because I wanted to become a hero. I wanted to be respected. It's my fault. The truth is, your mother was eaten by a Titan because of me!
I have always hated my blood. And more than anyone, I have wished that my race would disappear.
I can't take this anymore. Please, just kill me.
However, I confess that I want to live. That despite everything, I believe this world is my birthright, just as it is yours. The people gathered here may belong to different races, different nations. But if we're to survive this crisis, then for the first time in history, we must join as one. So please, if you wish to live, then lend me your strength. Help me protect our world's future. If we work together, we can overcome any obstacle, any threat.
Wow, so they're completely buying it.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's saying, yeah.
I am the same as you.
I ask each of you to join me as I go to fight the devils who would plunge our world into hell! Help me defeat them!
I think maybe we were born this way.
Here and now, as a representative of Marley's government, I send this message to the devils of Paradis!
I'll just keep moving forward. Till I killed my enemies.
Wait.
Consider this
Oh
a
no.
declaration of
He's right there.
Yeah, it is a declaration of war.
And picked up Willy.
Oh my goodness.
And that is where we are left for this episode. Oh,
I can't do this anymore.
That's the worst one.
Oh boy. All right.
Here we go. Eren has transformed.
In the building, so took down a bunch of people, has Willy Tyber in the air about to be eaten.
Yep, and in front of literally every ambassador
Literally everyone from everywhere in the world.
Everyone.
Why? What? Oh my god.
Well, you heard him, you know,
oh my
like
god.
he doesn't have a choice. It was, he had to, for his people. He threw all of Reiner's words right back at him.
Oh my god.
From Eren's perspective, these people are the people that...
The worst, yeah, and they just all declared war on...
Yep, he said, okay, bet, first second that they say it, he's on them.
I'm declaring war. Okay, I heard you.
All right, I'll fire the first shot. But first thoughts before we get to the discussion.
I mean, that is unbelievable. Hearing Willy Tyber's version of how everything went down was really interesting. Seeing how everyone responded and knowing that they're all on the same page and they're all ready to go attack Paradis. I mean, I really didn't see that coming.
Willy Tyber's got a really good way of like persuading people.
Reiner asking Eren to kill him and apologizing. Like Eren literally said, like, we're the same. I understand where you're coming from. I understand why you did what you did. There is no way for you as a child to avoid that kind of indoctrination. And he was like, no, there was.
Well,
I don't know why you would say that, but
even then, Eren still stuck with that idea when he went to pick him up. Like, he was like, I understand where you're coming from.
No, exactly.
Because I'm just like you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do what you did.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
You have a sad life. So do I. Mm-hmm. Peace out. Like, it's the biggest, oh, God.
It's exactly the opposite.
Yep.
You know?
Well, so that was Season 4, Episode 5 of Attack on Titan. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you are excited for our next episode coming this Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't wait and want to watch that episode and several others beyond it, check out the Patreon linked in the description below, where the extended, uncut, ad-free version of those episodes are posted right now. We have a lot to discuss. But before we do that, where are we headed?
All right, let's go to the episode verdict.
If you want to ask us questions after every episode, join the Patreon at any level. For now, let's go to question 1. Victor Ortiz asks, do you think Eren is justified in his actions since the world technically declared war first?
I think in that context, yes, absolutely. If they've decided that they're going to destroy Paradis and they're on their way to attack, is it on him that he had the upper hand in that situation? No, I don't think so. I do think that it's just restarting the cycle. I don't think it's the objectively correct thing to do, but I do think that given one side has declared war, his only option is to do what he did.
I remember I watched that and then I tried to figure out the difference between that versus what Reiner and them did.
There isn't.
And there isn't. It's just one big gray area.
Although Paradis didn't say they were going to attack the rest of the world unless they were attacked first. Leave us alone and you'll never have to deal with us. So they were neutral.
But this is after they had been annihilating the world for 1700 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, in that sense, when they fought back and did what Reiner and them did, it was them trying to, be like, hey, you did that atrocity, we're gonna stop you guys. Now, Eren's like, hey, you guys did that atrocity, we're gonna stop you guys.
And it just keeps going back and forth.
But anyway, let's go to question 2. Jenna the Bread Queen asks, looking at how Eren is acting in this episode, what has his character progression been like since we met him in the first season? How has he changed, and how has he managed to be the same?
So I think the biggest change for him is the lack of impulsivity and the planning. The fact that it's taken him years and he created this persona, Kruger, and, was in the hospital and was sending letters and doing all that. And he knew that Falco had a good enough relationship with Reiner to where he would bring him there, and planning exactly, all of that planning is so antithetical to everything we saw from Eren season 1 of just impulsively doing what he thinks needs to be done in that exact second. So that's very different. I think his determination is the same, and he's maintained this drive to protect the people within the walls and avenge his mom.
Yeah, and then I'll state some differences. He is just cold.
Yes.
I don't really know the answer to this because I've only seen the next 2 episodes, and then Montana and I are caught up and we'll be watching this for the first time together. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think when he touched Historia's hand, he saw his future self doing something, or saw just the future in general, and somehow learned what is gonna happen, and is just kind of resigned to it. And that's why the optimism seems gone.
Yeah.
Cause not even optimism, the drive to make change. Now he's just driving for vengeance, it seems like. Anyway, let's go to our last question. Eren is in a certain state of mind.
Yeah.
Last question. Johnny R asks, what do you think about Willy Tyber as a character and his impact on people and their view on Eldians? What do you think the implications of his declaration of war speech will be? I, for one, found it ironic he was the first one to die in the war he declared.
Yes, that really is ironic, and to be honest, I think completely deserved, given the fact that he completely was able to sidestep all Eldians are devils thing and become a celebrity and live in luxury and just take all of the benefits of his luck. It was purely luck that he ended up in that situation.
Yeah.
And yet he was fine standing by and allowing all of the other Eldians to exist the way that they've been existing. That's horrible. And I think just completely irredeemable. He's very clearly an amazing speaker.
Yeah.
Really, really talented. So charismatic. I think the implications for the declaration are going to be separating the Eldians outside of Paradis from the Eldians within Paradis. I think the point of that was to unite everyone so that the Eldians within the internment zones can distance themselves from the Eldians on Paradis, and whatever happens in the war, he can assure a better life for the Eldians not on the island.
Yep, and we're gonna see what happens next, but I think that's where we're gonna leave it for this episode. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you're excited to see what happens next. Our next episode's coming this Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but if you can't wait and want to watch that episode right now, check out the Patreon linked in the description below, where that episode, along with several others, are already posted, including these episodes. Pretty far ahead. I think that's about it for this episode. Are we excited for Season 4, Episode 6 of Attack on Titan?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.